Now we're back for part two of Matters of the Heart with Princess and my second special guest today, who is Mrs. Janice Starling um, Williams, and she is the founder of the All Kidney Patients Support Group. And we're going to hear from Janice now. Let me see. I don't think I've known Janice too long, but I remember I told her one time when I met her, I met her sister years ago. And I think her sister Teresa and I used to sit by each other at Allstate, and we just made a connection. And then one day, Teresa got sick, and now she's in Heaven Gate. So I'm just so honored now, years later, that I've made a great connection with her sister, Janice. And then I remember back in the day, my little girl used to go to Starling Nursery.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they've been around a long time. I think about 40 or 50 years.
44 years. 44 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to take her. I lived in Jordan Park. Used to take my little girl to Starling Nursery.
Yes.
And Janice has had such a wonderful mom, just someone who just had a heart for children.
Yes.
And my little girl, Kiwa, certainly enjoyed her little. I remember the picture. Sometimes I see this picture in my photo album where Kiwa was riding a little horse. They had a little day that they brought a horse and let all the little kids. I'm thinking Kiwa could have been 3 or 4. Or she could have, I don't know if she had turned 5 yet or not, but I remember that little picture looked so cute getting up on that horse. So today I am just honored to have Janice in the radio studio with us on 99.1 FM Jams today. Janice, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful.
Oh, right.
Wonderful. And I just thank you for this opportunity.
I want to thank both of you for this short notice, I think within the last 48 hours.
Yes.
That how once I sent the email out and you all are the ones that responded, and that means that you were the ones that were supposed to be here today, and I'm most grateful for that. Janice, anytime with the main name in your group here, that we know when we say kidney, we understand that you got to be talking about people who kidneys have failed, people that are on dialysis, and all that goes with that. So tell us about this organization, your group, how it got started.
Well, first of all, I am a kidney patient myself with end-stage renal disease. I started out when I had hypertension. My mom and my dad both had hypertension.
Yes.
So at the age of 18, I was diagnosed with hypertension.
Yes.
And I thought nothing of it. You know, you take your medications. I was under
Yes.
doctor care, and, nothing
Yes.
happened. So by the time I was 36, I was pronounced with renal failure. And I had no idea what dialysis was. I had no idea what renal failure, what kidney failure was. So from that point, when the doctor first told me, I decided to educate myself. So I educated myself on all different types of dialysis and what kidney failure was and what causes kidney failure. So
Well, what causes kidney failure?
well, if you have hypertension, or if you're diabetic, or if you have a family history of kidney disease, like polycystic kidney disease or anything like that. So those are the 3 leading causes of kidney failure.
Okay.
And since we're on that fact, 1 in every 3 Americans are at risk of kidney disease. And the next 1 in 9 Americans already have kidney disease. Kidney disease is irreversible. And kidney disease kills more people than breast cancer, prostate cancer, and leukemia. So those are some of the things that people don't realize about kidney disease. And I didn't even know about kidney disease. But now, since I was on dialysis for 14 years, I did peritoneal dialysis. That's one dialysis where you put a port in your belly and you put fluid in and you take fluid out. And that's how I clean my blood.
Is that the one you do at home?
That's the one you do at home.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Right. I did that for 3 years when I first started out, and then end up getting peritonitis, which is one of the risks of doing peritoneal dialysis. It's a very painful infection. Very, very painful.
Okay.
Extremely painful.
Yes.
And so during the time when Governor Jeb Bush appointed me to the school board, and I was running for the school board, when Tom Todd passed, I was appointed to the school board, so I was running for the office. During that time, I was on dialysis, and I was on peritoneal. So during the campaign time, I was running and hooking up at night, having a meeting in the morning. So things got a little bit hectic. So that's how I ended up getting peritonitis. So then I had to go back in center. So I was in center for quite a bit of while, for 4 years. And since I was home on peritoneal dialysis and I traveled, I was able to go to Alaska with my sister Carolyn, and I did a lot of different traveling, and so I missed the freedom of being in center from being at home with dialysis.
Exactly.
But I did travel in center too.
Yes.
So, but it wasn't as much.
Yes.
So I heard of something called home hemodialysis. My sister was reading a paper one time, and she said, Janice, look at this lady. Her and her husband are doing dialysis in a camper. And I was like, wow, what is this? So I called every number in the article, and I found out that home hemo is what they do in the center, but they have a little next stage machine that you can do at home.
Yes.
And my husband helped me do that. So we did home hemodialysis.
Oh,
So
my
that
goodness.
let me take my machine, and we traveled to Texas. We traveled to New York. We traveled a lot of places.
Because as you're speaking on it, I'm recalling a lot of times that people, when they are on dialysis, you definitely are limited when you know that you got to go get your dialysis 3 times a week.
Yes.
It's just like when you just mentioned that. And so sometimes they can say, oh, I might try to, I think you can, someone I knew try to skip one and say, I'll have it when I come back, or double up or something before they go. Because it really, you got to take that in consideration, that wherever you go, or set it up that you can get dialyzed while you're there.
Yes, you have to do that. And one of the things that's really important about skipping dialysis, when you're not on dialysis, normal people urinate every day.
Yes.
Every day, 2, 3, 4
times a day.
times a day. Well, in dialysis, that function stops after the longer you're on dialysis. So that function stops, and a lot of people don't realize that.
You don't urinate at all.
Right, at all.
I know,
So
I've
the
heard.
dialysis machine takes over that for you. So you're building up all these toxins in your body. So with all of these toxins and resistance in your body, that tends to cause other problems. You can get infection. It can cause cancer. One time I had plasmacytoma in my left femur. That's a bone cancer. And because the kidney regulates a lot of different things in your body, and the people don't realize that the kidney regulates your anemia. It regulates the amount of blood cells that you have. It regulates the minerals in your body. It regulates your blood pressure. So the kidney is very important in your body.
Yes. I want another important thing, that one of the main things you say attributes to kidney failure is hypertension. People don't realize hypertension is high blood pressure.
Right.
Some people take their medicine, don't take it, but the end result is that what happens? It just the pressure of blood running against in the kidney or against the wall of it, or what?
Well, no.
What happens?
The kidney regulates the blood pressure. It regulates all of the organs kind of in the body. It regulates the minerals. It regulates the human body, with the 2 kidneys. What it does, it removes the waste from your body. It balances the fluid, and it helps keeps the blood pressure under control.
Okay.
So that's what it does. It helps keeps it under control. And then it regulates your hormones too. And then it keeps your bones healthy.
Okay.
And then it balances the minerals in your body, and it makes red blood cells.
Okay.
So those functions is what the kidney does. So all of those things the kidney does, with the making of the red blood cells and keeping the blood pressure controlled and keeping the bone minerals and all of the minerals in your body under control. So when you have renal failure, some of those things stop.
Okay.
And so in the hypertension, what the hypertension does, it raises your blood pressure. So when your blood pressure goes up, then your kidneys is working overtime trying to make new red blood
Make
cells,
things
trying
happen.
to make things happen, trying to keep things under control. And then when that happens, then they just say, "Oh my God, I'm tired. You know, I can't do it anymore," and then it shuts down.
Oh,
and
my
that's what
goodness.
causes renal failure.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
that's important to know because I did not know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't
yeah,
know.
I know when I go to the doctor and they do your blood work, and the first thing I always ask them, because I used to work for a diabetic company, okay, what is my A1C reading? And so I guess they're surprised that I'm going to go. And then they'll tell, oh, it's 90 or something, or 89. You're fine. But why was you concerned? Yeah, I just want to know. Because where you are with that. So,
And that's one of the most important things that you should do is ask the doctor, what are your labs?
yes,
Ask them to
absolutely.
explain, because there's an easy test to tell when you get your labs done from your doctor. It's an easy thing to do. You can just ask them, I need an ACR, albumin to creatinine ratio. And that's all you need to tell if you have renal failure. And just a urine test to see if you have protein in your urine.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two simple tests that you can do, you know, if you are on blood pressure, if you are diabetic, or those are simple things that you can do.
Exactly.
But you got to ask, just like you said with your
The
doctor.
first thing I want to say, what is my A1C?
What is your A1C? And next you can say, what is my ACR?
Okay, I will.
Say
Write
that.
that down and
Write
have
that
that
down.
the next time.
And then what is my blood creatinine ratio?
Yes,
Or
I
my
will.
GFR.
That's right.
So
So,
you
absolutely.
can do those things. Those are things that you can do. So from being on dialysis for 14 years and now on 12-13-13, I got a kidney transplant. And I was just so happy when I got the call. And I had to go to Miami. I had to live in Miami for 3 months. My church, Word of Life Fellowship, helped me out a big deal. Oh, they paid most of the hotel fee because I had to live in a hotel.
Okay.
Me and my husband and my family all over the United States. We got a lot of Starlings. They sent money in and they helped me, and my neighbors and friends, everybody
The
helped
love,
me.
the
Right,
love,
all of the
Janice.
love
Oh,
for
my
me
goodness.
to live in Miami, to get, you know,
Those
the proper
treatments,
care,
yeah.
you know, to make sure.
Well, after you had the kidney transplant, you needed to stay there. Did you have to go to the doctor like
3 times a week.
Okay, yeah,
for labs.
exactly. Yeah.
Right, because they have to make sure that everything
It's working.
is working well. Right. So when I came back, it was very important to me that I tell my story and help other patients. So we started All Kidney Patient Support Group. And
How long has that been going on?
well, I've been doing workshops the whole time since 2009, every year for World Kidney Day. March is National Kidney Month.
Okay.
I wish the NFL, like for October were the pink socks, I wish they would do green socks for
Okay.
March. Well, football is not in March, so.
Right, okay.
Well, maybe baseball, they can wear green socks. They can, you know, to support kidney, you know,
It's
kidney,
right.
yeah,
It's-
you know.
yes, absolutely.
Just like they do breast cancer.
pink,
And,
pink for breast cancer. So
Green for-
green for kidney.
Yes.
Exactly.
yes, so one of the things that I did, we started the support group. Somebody needed their light bill paid, so we started doing fundraisings. We made little cups, and I would do events, and friends would go with me. And Octavia, she's one of our good supporters and friend. And
I know my friend. I referred to you. Yeah. I know.
yes, through you, through a prayer line we met.
That's right.
And
Through the prayer line.
through the prayer line,
And
something?
let's give a shout out to Marlo, because Marlo was listening to Octavia talk about I think she's talking about starting that home dialysis or
Yes.
something. And then Marlo just said, there's someone I want you to get in contact with, because Octavia had just had so many problems. Like she had just started with dialysis and had about I don't know, 10 or 12 surgeries.
Surgeries, yes.
That's right.
And that's part of it.
Exactly.
That is part of it, yes.
Surgery every month.
Right.
Because of the port
Fistula.
closing up. Is that
Yes,
what you
the
call
fistula.
it?
It's a fistula.
Closing up,
Right.
clogging up. And after they done stick you everywhere,
Everywhere.
and you
Oh,
can't
my
figure
goodness.
out, your leg, your neck,
Your
so,
thigh,
yes,
the main veins in your arm and in your and you only have like two arms, the lower part, the upper part on both sides, and then they move to your thigh, and your two main arteries. So it's like once that's gone, what does a patient do? And so that's one of the things that I was like, I had that happen to me. One of the doctors in Saint Petersburg told me there was nothing they can do for me, and oh, come on, you're in pain, you're used to pain. And I said, okay, I will not see you again. So I went to, and that's what we teach, to be an advocate, to speak up. You don't have to take certain things from doctors. You don't, they're there to help you. But you can
you don't
ask
have
questions.
to receive every report and
Right.
do every, take 12 medications and all that other stuff. I ain't going to get carried away here.
Right, don't get carried away. But now, and then that's where the Holy Spirit comes in to teach you, to talk to you, and says, how you supposed to talk, how you supposed to, and in a polite way.
Yes.
So you go, but in the same time, the Holy Spirit will tell you, go where the professionals are. Go where people do things every day. At Tampa General, they do fistula surgeries every day. The doctors are Pacific. That is their field to
Right.
do dialysis patients. So go where they do things every day, not where you have a general surgeon that's doing this type of surgery, this type of surgery, and this type of surgery, any general surgery, and then they say, oh, we're going to put your fistula in, because that's not his major thing. He's
yeah.
not a specialist in that field.
Yes,
So go where a specialist
Yes.
in that field.
I know what you're saying, especially with all those surgeries.
Yes. So if you have to drive to Tampa, and that's some of the things that we do, and all kidney patient support group. One patient was moving and they needed their light bill paid. So we raised enough funds to help get their light bill paid. At the end of the month, after your Social Security, like that last month, one patient, they ran out of money. They needed a little food. So we was able to buy them some food. One
Yes.
patient on their way to dialysis had a car accident. That happened to me before.
Yes.
A car hit my car, and so I knew what it was like. So since I've been on so long, I've experienced a lot of things being on dialysis.
Yes.
And so now it's time to give back and to teach people and to say, hey, you can be an advocate for yourself. These are things that you can do. These are things that you can help your body to heal on dialysis.
Yes.
Don't miss your treatments. Take your binders. Do the things that you're supposed to do to keep
Yes.
yourself feeling good on
Yes.
dialysis.
Yes.
'Cause it's
That's a
rough.
lot involved. Yes.
It is a lot involved.
So you're like a miracle case in itself. You were one of the fortunates to get a kidney transplant.
Yes, and
Yes.
that in itself is a lot, because you
Yes.
have to be a certain weight.
Okay.
You have to be able to do a stress test, a EKG, a echo,
Cool.
a heart stress. You got to do all of your mammograms. You got to do all of that stuff every year. And then during one year, they found a spot in my breast. So I was like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
no.
And it was not.
It wasn't there. But during the process of thinking to remove my breast, I thought that everything was going to be fine so I can stay on the transplant list. But the doctor ended up leaving a bleeder, and I ended up bleeding, and I had over 30 blood transfusions. So in that process of having all of those transfusions, what I thought was going to help me stay on the transplant list actually ended up eliminating me from the transplant list, because high antibodies cause you to reject your kidney.
Yes.
So that's why I was on so long, to go through peritoneal dialysis, in-center dialysis, home hemodialysis. So after all of that time and experiences and traveling and going, now I have enough knowledge to give back and to help other people and to show them, hey, you can
It's
advocate.
coming along the way.
It's coming along the way,
Yeah,
yes. So
that,
that's what it's all about.
That's
what
true.
that's
How,
what all kidney patient support group is about, giving back.
how many women in this, men, women and men?
Women and men.
Men in this group.
Yes. Yes, women and men.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. You
Yes.
have how many men do you have in the group right now?
Right now we have about three to four men. One is on dialysis and one had a kidney transplant and one is just a general person just helping out.
Just oh, good,
Yes.
good,
Yes.
good, good. I tell you, very interesting.
Yes.
So, how often do you meet? If in case
We
anyone
meet.
that's listening having dialysis and want to be a part of your group,
Okay, we meet the last Tuesday in the month. Whatever the last Tuesday is,
Yes,
that's the Tuesday we meet. And we meet at Starling School and Daycare Center,
yes,
615 28th Street South.
okay.
So
What
we
time?
we meet at 5:30,
5:30.
and we're usually out of there by 7, 6, about 8 o'clock. We'll just say 8
Let's say
o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds very good. Oh my goodness. Beatrice, do you have any questions for Janice about the all kidney patient group?
Yes, I'm hoping to see Janice at the any fairs that we have. I'm trying to think of what's upcoming. Hopefully, she'll have a table at Soul and the Deuces because we're going to have nonprofits there. And I know in October it's Mental Health Awareness Month, so I don't know if maybe we can tie you into, because I'm sure depression plays into
Yes, it does.
people who are going through dialysis. Okay, that's the hook to get you there.
Yes.
There's going to be a function on 22nd Street promoting mental health, and I just am in awe. I've known Janice for a long time, and I'm just so blessed to see her. I didn't realize your story was so was so tortured
So
and
passionate, so
Yes.
but you just are an excellent advocate for
Yes.
kidney support, and I hope to hear you other places telling people your story and getting people mobilized about kidney failure, because I think you don't think about it.
You don't. People don't, and that's one of the things that people do not. We have so many isms and schism in our community. One of the things that I'm advocating for, along with the kidney, is for everyone to be a organ donor. That's the thing that what I came with, I'm leaving with. You know, some of those old things that we say.
oh yeah, isms and schisms.
Ism and schisms. You know, but think about how are we saved?
Yes.
Somebody had to die and to be resurrected, Jesus,
So that we can be alive.
so that we can be alive. So that's the same thing with organ donation.
Making a sacrifice.
Making a sacrifice. All you have to do is fill out an organ donor card and just say you're organ donor on the driver's license. The part about, if I go in the hospital and if my organs match somebody else's organs, some
They're
rich
gonna
person,
take 'em
they're
and
gonna
let
take
me
'em
go.
and let me go. That is not true. Your family and everyone has to sign off on a form. You have to get 2 doctors to agree. You know, you have to be already, and your brain has to still be alive. So I mean, it's a lot of things that goes on. It's not like in the movies where somebody just die and they run in there and take the organs. No, it's a process. It's a process.
Well, that's where all the isms and schisms, because people do that. I know I have it on my driver's license.
And I do too.
And somebody told me that one day, next time you go, get that off of there, because that's just what they will do.
No.
I think something about, I don't know whether somebody talking about they went to Brazil, somewhere like, doing whatever, you waking up on ice and this and that.
It's an urban legend.
We live in, that's an urban legend. That's what ism, schism, urban legend. That's what I'm thinking. Organ donor. Just think, it was a 30-year-old man, young man. My kidney is younger than I am. That filled out this card and was able to have that on his driver's license. Out of all the time, all the years I waited and all the things I went through to get a kidney, God chose that one young man that once he passed to be a match for me.
Of course.
That was the miracle.
That's right. Just like
And
with Siobhan. Here he was 16.
16 years old.
And born with a defective heart.
Yes.
And finally his heart wore out at 16. And thank God, now he's a miracle, because
He
he's
is a
got
miracle.
somebody's heart in him.
And him.
But
Yes,
bone
right.
marrow, I mean, that's one of the challenges with bone marrow transplants. It's difficult for African Americans to get matched. We can't get bone marrow because there's not enough of us in the database. Because a lot of typically African Americans are, not just black on both sides. They have a mixture, and that's why it's so challenging.
That's
So
why.
everyone who can hear us, please consider
Organ being donation. An organ donation, and please just block out of the urban legends, and don't believe that, because
that's what
that
kills
saved
us.
my life.
But it kills the rest of us because
Yes.
there's not enough of us in that pool of people
And
to choose
that's
from.
why once we get, and we're more acceptable to getting Hispanics, African Americans, we're more acceptable to kidney disease
Right.
than anybody else.
Right.
And we wait longer and end up dying because we don't we don't sign up for organ donations, and we have all of the urban legends and things that stop us from saving somebody's life. Or if we're a family member, I'm not giving up my kidney. Your sister or your brother might be a match.
That's right.
But see, all of my sisters and brothers had hypertension.
So they couldn't help.
So they couldn't help me. Because it was on my mom's side and my dad's side.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so when
and the family be eliminated. Yeah, you got to find you an outside source.
Or if the younger people, what if I need it later, or what if something happened to me? I want to keep drinking. It's so. I'm just telling you some of the stories I have heard.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know we got the excuses. I know we do,
Yes.
Janice.
Yes.
When it comes to that, they don't want to even think about even taking an injection. Just not nevertheless to say something wrong with them, but going to the doctor, just getting a regular shot.
Right.
So you're talking about a procedure where they got to, work on you and the person.
Right.
And why, they
Or we walk around with hypertension and don't even know it because we won't go to the doctor.
Exactly.
Starts about it. That ties into eating healthy, which is why we're
Yes.
trying to get fresh fruits and vegetables into our community, and it's all about health. If we ate better,
Yes.
it might help with the hypertension.
Yes, and that
then-
was one of the things on my list, eating healthy. How can you prevent it? Eating healthy. Stay away from the salt and the fat. Eating your vegetables and more fresh food. Stay away from the fast foods, and that's one of the ways.
Yeah.
All that is
if you look
important.
at it, we need to pay attention because we talk about what other people do to our community. We kill ourselves because we can't help people who are in need. I'm a cancer survivor, so I can't. That sort of cancels me out. I think of being an
Yes.
organ donor. I can't give blood anymore because I don't have lymph nodes. So, but I'm still considered an organ donor. But when I'm not here anymore, I certainly don't need I don't need my eyes.
Right. And then
I don't
they
need my heart.
But the thing about it, they do not take your eyes out. It's just a little piece
Just
of
the
skin.
cornea.
Yes, the cornea. And most people think, I'm going to be sitting in the casket with my eyes sunk in. I don't hear people say that. I have heard people say that. Are they going to put marbles in my eyes? When
yeah.
have you been to a funeral with somebody's eyes open, even if they did put fake eyes in them?
Well,
Think
but you're
about
not
that.
here, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. When have you if somebody's eyes was open in the casket, we would be running out of here. So
I know.
So when you think about the things that we talk about and the things that the urban legends and the things that we say, it doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't. So
Now, that is
become an organ donor. We should have an organ donor day at 22nd Street.
That would be one, and I would love to be in charge.
We need to have that, especially with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference in the
That's correct.
neighborhood.
Yes, and I could get LifeLink to help out.
Yeah,
we
and
have
the
voters registration.
So all that.
all of those things. Organ donation. We can do all of that. Make it one big party.
The only way you can get into the party is are you on the list or you got the voters registration card.
That's it. That's it.
So I'm gonna talk to Mr. Parker. You talk to Mr. Parker.
Yes.
And I've already got LifeLink involved. I can
Okay,
already
so-
talk to Brandy at LifeLink, and
But that would be
we can
great.
make it happen.
That
we
would
can
be
make it
great to
happen.
do something in the heart of one of the hearts of our community, because our heart beats everywhere. But on 22nd Street,
Yes.
that we talk about voters registration and organ donation.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to the hour here. With about 3 or 4 minutes left, I'm going to make an announcement. and I'm going to let each of you have 1 minute of closing here. I just want to make an announcement. Um, Princess Denise Wright, she has recently been nominated as a Gospel Radio Host of the Year by Tampa Bay Gospel Awards. And so I'm going to give everybody the website that you can go to nominate me, vote for me. You got to vote in each category, though, because they want to just be fair. Everybody get a vote regardless, just not the person you want. So if you would just log on to www.tampabaygospelawards.com. And at the top, you'll see where it says vote. And then you just scroll down, and there's a big red circle that has vote in it. So you click on it, and then it opens up the categories. So it's categories for people that are recording artists, mime ministry, different things, or they're graphic artists or whatever. Just different and then the very last category, number 20, is for the radio host of the year. So it's 4 nominees. I'm one of them. So you'll see my photo in there. So just go, if you would do that today, if you have time, again, that's www.tampabaygospelawards.com. You can be voting from now until August 1st, and this event will take place on October 1st of this year in Tampa at the Center for Manifestation Church. They're going to have a big event. I think it's for 2 days, the first and the second. But on the first is the main event. So I'm very honored. But even if I don't win, I'm already a winner.
Yes, you are. And I already voted last night.
Thank you.
Yes, I did already. I voted her. And Rodrika Riley for praise worship leader. So.
Okay,
Yes.
thank
Yeah,
you.
to vote for her, too.
Good. Yes, we just, and like I said, when I sent that out to everybody, I just said yes. I just feel honored to be, because you're going to get a lot of promotion until then. People who never even heard of Princess Denise, at least your name will be out there and
Yes.
stuff like that, that you're doing gospel ministry. 'Cause you got to be doing gospel ministry now.
Yes.
It's all about the gospel. So one closing word, because we're getting ready to get out of here. Beatrice.
Thanks everyone for listening to Princess Denise radio station. And
Oh, this is my station? Okay.
I mean, I promoted you for your radio show, and please vote for her. What's the website?
TampaBayGospelAwards.com.
TampaBayGospelAwards.com. Please visit akpsupportgroup.org to support All Kidney Support Group.
Yes.
And like the Deuces Live on Facebook.
All righty.
Okay.
Already have.
And just remember 22, just the number 20, the 22nd of every
Every
month.
month. Right. We'll remember
Make sure
that.
you make it
That's
down.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
That's good.
All right. Well,
And
she's
Janice, and closing remark for you.
okay. She's already given you our website,
Oh, okay.
AKPSG. AKP supportgroup.org. She's already said that. And I'm going to give you a ways to help protect your kidney. Eat less salt and fat, exercise, lose weight if you are overweight, and do not smoke. Control your high blood pressure, control your diabetes, and avoid over-the-counter NSD. Aleve, excessive amount, Advil, all of those things.
Really?
Don't be addicted to those, taking them every day. NSDs, Aleve, Advil, all of those things will also cause kidney failure. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, they
And-
need to know
Yes,
that,
yeah, they
boy.
definitely need to know that.
Because
you know.
when you got a headache, people definitely say, "Got any leave? You got any leave?"
But overdose. Don't take it. People who take it
3 or 4 times
times
a day. Yeah,
or a
like some
week,
people
or-
constantly having headaches
Right. So
and
go see
are
your
in
doctor.
pain, I guess.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Those leads to one person we had at a support group took too much pain medicine and her kidneys went out.
Okay.
So-
Well,
And we are a nonprofit organization. We do take donations of any kind so that we can help other patients on dialysis
okay.
or in need.
Well,
And I just
yes.
thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you both, Veatrice Farrell, Janice Starling Williams. We want to thank you today for tuning in to another broadcast
You've been listening to
of
the radio.
Matters of the Heart with your radio host, Princess Denise Wright.